Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I am going to go grab my coffee and be right back, or at least brew my coffee. So hang in there. You will hear lots of machinery going on. That is, some of the workers are doing the sanding, wood sanding. So I gave them that job today. I have been doing lots of that wood sanding. So hi there, Marcus. Thanks for joining in. It's finished. Thanks for joining in. Robert, thanks for joining in. Arthur has joined in. Let me go grab my coffee and I will be right back with you. So, hoping you guys are all having, here, I can turn you a little bit so you can see me while I'm working down this way. There you go. I took out my coffee. That's the last pod. So, get this one to go. I finished off my last creamer this morning, so I will have to open a new creamer. I do love my Dunkin's Extra Extra. So there we go. So you have me live in the RV. Yes, I am in the RV for this morning. Live in the RV. Sorry, I'm just moving you so you can see me. It's going to be a manual move. I don't have one of those things that follows me around. So give me a second to get set up. Meanwhile, everybody, thank you for joining Mary Burke Live in my RV, getting ready for the day. It is time for my coffee. Lots of work ahead, lots of work behind. Getting that master bed and bath completed. So trying to get that baseboard in today. So I've moved on to the 6-inch wide cedar planks. Those will be sanded and then polyurethane to at least 2 times. It'll get at least 2 coats. So, and depending on how it comes out, I may, after 2 coats, give it a light sanding and then give it a 3rd top coat. We'll see. All right, so now my cap is back on. Cover the cap, shake it well before we get into our, there we go, top it off. Yes, I do a heavy pour on the creamer. Give it a little whirly-durly swirl right there. And now I'm ready to sit and chat with you. So I'm going to move you all back over here again. So hang in there while I bring you back. Yes, I got to bring you back. There, like so. Thank you so much for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live this morning. Thank you, Terrence, for joining in, and Dan Cruz. JD is here. Let's see. Alabama is in the house. Thank you for joining me. I will try and oh, well, I got a lot of people scrolling, so it's going to take a second. If you are going to ask me questions and such, you can certainly shout out where you're from in the world. You can tell me about your Sunday. We're going to have a little chat here. I have workers outside working on sanding down the 6-inch woods. I have someone from the Philippines. Dawn, thank you for chiming in. Arkansas, Brian is in the house. Thank you for being here. Let's see, Tom is here, Green Dragon, all right. Thanks for joining in. Hi there, Daniel. You're from Spain. Thank you for joining in. Excellent. If someone from England, it scrolled by too quick. Hershey, Pennsylvania. Love this country. Thank you for joining in. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary Burke Live from the RV. If you haven't caught me live yet this week, oh, thank you for my sunglasses. Those were cool. I like those. I have been broadcasting live from the RV all week because the master bath and bed are being gutted and redone this week. So I have relocated most of my broadcasts, or all of my broadcasts, to out here, so that you're not amongst all the construction that's going on and all the hubbub. So the master is right off that kitchen where I normally do a lot of my broadcasts. So I don't, I wanted us to be in a better environment. So the wood is being sanded outside, and that will be polyurethane, and then I will install that later on today. That'll be my baseboard. I'm using cedar trim throughout the bunkhouse, and that for the doorways and for the baseboards, any trim work around any windowsills, all of that is custom cedar work that I am doing. So thank you so much. Columbia's in the house. Thank you for joining in. Hi, Paul. Thank you for being here and enjoying the content. Let's see, we have John here. Beautiful. You like my socks? These socks are from Amazon. They are called Cozy Cabin Crew Socks. So I don't represent them. I'm just letting you know what they are. So should you want to get them, that's what they are. Same with my mug. This is a combination soup mug that has a lid on it and coffee mug. So you could bake in this, you could put your soup in it and microwave it, or you could do your coffee in it or your hot beverage. In the RV, I try to pick things that have multiple purposes, so that way it doesn't take up as much space. So, thank you, Dawn, for being here. I do appreciate that. Hi there, Jose. Thank you. Oribus is here. Am I excited for Halloween? I haven't given Halloween much thought yet. To be honest, I've seen stuff popping up in stores already. I do enjoy the Halloween season. However, I am enjoying summer. I love it when it's warm. I love it when it's hot. So as you can tell, I am going to continue to enjoy summer as long as I possibly can. But yes, I do enjoy. I do not have any pumpkins. I did not grow pumpkins this year in the garden. I did not attempt those. I attempted squash, which came out fantastic. Oh, I got a crown and hearts. Thank you so much. I love when you send me gifts. I do. I absolutely do love hearts and gifts. Thank you. Thank you. Tom C. is in the house. Thank you for being here. Greetings from Carpenter, Bavaria. Thank you. Thank you for joining in from Bavaria. I don't know that I've ever had anybody from Bavaria before. Thank you for joining in. So I get lots of different countries. So, you love my biceps? Thank you so much. They didn't really get a good pump today. Today was, I did abs and overall stretching. So a lot of body weight, but I didn't use weights this morning. So thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate that. I love when you send me gifts. I love when you send me hearts. So from India is in the house. Thank you, Ann Kush, for joining in. Pectorals? Yes, my pectorals. Biceps, triceps, quadriceps, hamstrings, pectorals, lats. So, anyways, Southwest Florida is in the house. Thank you, Grover, for joining in. Thank you for liking my voice, Tatty. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you being here this morning. And if you don't follow me, hit the follow button or the subscribe button. Join in. You've got me live. You know you're on the correct account. There's lots of fakes out there, and I don't want you to be dealing with the fakes. So I am going to adjust this one just a little bit. There we go. All right. All right. Now make sure whatever question you put in the comments is appropriate, because there are certain things that I don't allow to be talked about, and if you hit one of those words, it's automatically going to flag it. So make sure we all play nice in the comment section. Let's see. Yes, hit follow, subscribe, join, comment, absolutely. And then from there, you can go to my profile page, which brings you to TheMaryBurke.com. Yes, I have my own website, TheMaryBurke.com. So in case you ever have any questions about which account is really me, if you go to my profile and hit TheMaryBurke.com, it'll bring you to each one of my approved or my actual platforms. There we go. I was trying to think of the word. I haven't had all my coffee yet. So there's lots of scammers and fakes out there, so just make sure you're following me and not the fakes. I've heard from different people, oh, you're back, I lost your account. I see, you know, you lost a fake account because the fake account got shut down. So hi there, I'm Pepe. Thanks for joining in. Rush is in the house. Thank you for joining. Venezuela. Now I will tell you, you must write to me in English. If you try to write to me in another language, I won't understand it. Sorry. So, am I in Iowa? No, I am not in Iowa. I am in Southeast Alabama. The farm I have is in Southeast Alabama. Hi there, Jonathan. Thank you for joining in. Yes. Yes, it's lucky you're following the real me, right, Oribus? How can anyone else look as good as me? I don't know. I don't know. I've been blessed with good skin tone, a good skin, bronze coloring. So, you feel lucky? I'm happy that you feel lucky. Hi there, David. Thanks for joining in. You have me on one of my major platforms, streaming live, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So those are the platforms that I would usually stream on, so that you can see the most up-to-date information from me and get caught up to this morning. Is just a chat. I can recap what has happened this past week and what I'm planning for this upcoming week. I do have the master bath in the bunkhouse to complete, and the master bath has been gutted. It has been refloored. So now I have, and the door frames have all been put in. I have to put the wood for the doors, and the insides have been done, but now I have to do the stiles on the outsides and insides of the door. So this is a custom build door. These are not the pre-hung doors that you go into the store and just, you know, here's your rough opening, get your pre-hung door, because that already has your insides and your outside stiles, the headers, and the jamb already done for it. What I've been doing is custom making each and every one of them. So that's a lot of wood that has to go into that. And on top of that, I'm not using a pine, I am using cedar. So get the kettle on, I get the Keurig on. I do have a kettle in the RV because it is gas. The RV has a gas stove. So I do have a kettle on the stove, but I am not using it. I use the Keurig for my coffee, tea, or hot cocoa. So thank you so much, Chris, for joining in. I appreciate you being here. William is in the house. Thank you for being here. Hi there, Mama. Antonio has joined in. Rodolfo has joined. Nope, just joined. Lots of people joining in. So I want to take this time to again say thank you for joining Mary Burke Live. It's Sunday morning, and just having a chat with you, going over the events of the past week, what I have planned for the upcoming week, what you can expect to see for some content coming up. Thank you, Scotty, for joining. I do appreciate that. Hi there, Diane. I do not have other people on my lives. I do appreciate you jumping in, but My lives are just me. I will moderate them myself. I let the comments go as long as you play nice in the room. If you do not behave, if you misbehave, then yes, I will bounce you from the room and potentially block you. So just play nice. So so let's see. Thank you. I got a whole bunch of waves and a whole bunch of hearts coming in. Thank you again for joining in. Hi there, Wayne. Thanks for joining. So getting back to welcome. It's Sunday morning. You've got the real Mary Burke. I got a heart and a crown. Thank you so much for my heart and my crowns. I love when I get gifts. So keep the gifts coming. This is the best place to hit follow, subscribe, join. Again, you get to go to my profile and see all my prior posts, reels, shorts, even longer videos. If you're on my YouTube, then I put up some longer videos on that as well, so that you can get some information, tips, tricks on different renovation stuff that I am doing, or different farm stuff that I am doing. So, and that is the one is probably I've had the longest. So you can go back through my history and see the progression of the farm since I first bought it 4 years ago. Then this, up until this point, I've only been here full time about 1.5 years. So lots of changes in the last 1.5 years, not so much for the 2.5 before that, but you can see a definite progression in the landscape and the infrastructure of the farm since I've been here. So thank you again for being here. You love feminine muscles? Absolutely. Well, I've got the feminine muscles for you, and not big and bulky. There's no extra additives or hormones needed. It is all lean muscle. I do a lot of, when I work out, if I do weights, it's going to be light weights, and I do a lot of body weight exercises. Again, I'm looking for lean muscle, lean and clean. So, am I a gentle person? By nature, I don't believe that I am a mean person. There's lots of mean people out there. I may shoot it to you straight. I am from the Northeast, so don't expect any of those Southern genteelness and roundabout ways in asking a question. I kind of go direct at a question. No pussyfooting around it. So, Columbia's in the house. Thank you for joining in. I am doing well, Samuel. Thank you for asking. Thanks for joining in. I hope you are doing well as well. So, thank you again for being here. Keep your questions appropriate, or they will be flagged and held for review. If they're held for review, I'm not going to have the time. I have way too many people scrolling in for me to actually look at your questions. So keep it real, keep it pleasant, and hopefully I will have I will be able to answer any of your questions. If it was regarding money, no. So, thank you for joining in. What's my plans for the day? Today will be more woodwork. So, I know you guys have seen me doing lots of woodwork this past couple of days, picking out the wood, hauling the wood, sanding the wood, staining the wood. All of the above is going to be happening, and it's going to continue today. A lot of flooring has been installed, so the master bath and bedroom flooring, I was 1 box short. I was actually only 3 pieces short, so I had to have someone run out and have a runner run out and get another box of flooring yesterday to complete the flooring in the master bath. So now that is all done, it'll be putting in the baseboards, then bringing in the tub, the vanity, the surround, the toilet, and getting the bathroom back online. And then from there, it'll be building my doors. I haven't decided if I'm going to build the doors next because I have the doors. I have 2 doors that I will be building. Again, I do a lot of the custom work, so it'll be actually, I have the pre-made pieces. It's kind of like a Lincoln Log or a Legos or something like that. I have the pre-made pieces, but I do build the door and then glue it, screw it, stain it, sand it, stain it, and poly it. So that's all more wood, lots of woodwork this upcoming week. Probably not, and hanging out in the pool because it is still around 96 to 98 degrees here at the farm. So it is. Thank you, Thomas, for liking to see me work. I do appreciate that. Doing all that hard work is going to buff my muscles, that is for sure, Orbus. Hi there, Lemieux? Wasn't there a Pepe Le Pew? Lemieux? I don't know. Why does Lemieux sound familiar? Was there an animal? Where is the farm? In what state? Mercedes asks. That is the Mercedes 300. The farm is in southeast Alabama. So that is, it's a hobby farm, which anything I would consider a hobby farm is anything under 10 acres. So some real farmers out there would probably continue to say that anything under a couple of 100 acres is a hobby farm, but I'm a real hobby farm. The animals that I have here, they're more pets than they are. So Papa Pig isn't here because he's going to be bacon. Papa Pig is here because he's a garbage disposal and because he was here when I got the farm. So I inherited Papa Pig. So he's staying. And same thing with the goats. The goats are dwarf goats. I originally had Nubian goats, and I did not, those were too big. There were hopping fences and everything. So I found another farm that had other like kind goats and donated them to that farm. So then I went and got the dwarf goats. Dwarf goats were much more my style. Even Arnie, if I had lower than a 5-foot fence, Arnie can jump that. So I have to have 5-foot fencing for him and a sturdier gauge to it than, definitely the chickens don't need the chicken wire but I dislike the hexagon chicken wire. That stuff is terrible. I don't use that. But I do have to use a pretty strong gauge for his environment. He has his own pen. Arnie has his own pen. And then there's Mavis and Pearl, her baby. They have their own pen. And those are more like pets. So, but the chickens do have a function. I have just less than, I should have more than a dozen chickens, but I don't. They are all hens. They all lay eggs. So I get about a half dozen out of the 9 or 10 chickens that I have. I get about a half dozen eggs a day. So, if you write to me in another language, then I will not be able to understand you. English only. A garden of medicinal herbs, spices. I could do that. I do have. I don't have herbs in the garden, but that is a good idea for me to add that in. I do like my own cilantro and parsley, so I could and spearmint. I do enjoy spearmint, so I could definitely see me adding that in as another tier to my garden. Right now, my garden is vegetables. It is gone past now, so all my vegetables have been harvested. I just went out and got the last bunch of jalapenos from it, as well as tomatoes and peppers. I have little snackable peppers. But along the back wall of my garden, it is fenced in. It's just a wire fence, but along that backside I have 3 wrought iron trellises, and that is for my blackberry, grape, and raspberry vines. Those grow up a vine, and then I have 2 blueberry bushes. So I'm more a berry person as far as that goes. Although I did plant this year, I did try to replant some trees this year, and the trees that I replanted were apple and peach trees. I don't know that the peach tree is going to take. I did also plant a Japanese maple and 2 other maples. I don't think the other 2 maples took. So we'll see. But the 2 apple trees, I have a Granny Smith apple and a Gala apple, or Gala. Gala or Gala, depending on how you pronounce it. Potato, potato. So, so those are some trees that I planted. They will not bear fruit this year, but that is for future years. So we shall see how those grow and take. So thank you for joining in. Did I grow cucumbers? I did grow cucumbers. I did. They they ended up pretty stubby, but they got pretty thick around. They were like a burrito thickness cucumber. So they were pretty thick cucumbers, but they didn't get too long, maybe 6 to 8 inches long. So definitely not like the hothouse that can get up to, 16, 18 inches long. It was not that style of cucumber. So yes, I did have cucumbers. I had zucchini, squash, summer squash, green beans, peas, corn, and the peppers. And then I tried carrots, but the soil wasn't right for carrots, so I didn't have any carrots take. The carrots were from seeds. The peas and beans were from seeds. The tomato was a plant that I bought pre-done. All I had to do was water it and keep it alive, which is pretty difficult here in 98-degree weather. In addition to that, the corn was from seed. The other ones were starter plants. I didn't start the plants from seed, so let's see. Great, thanks for subbing. I do appreciate anybody that joins, subscribes. You can comment and let me know. Thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. And now you can go to my profile page too when I'm offline, obviously, because you get to chat with me live here. Then you can go and check out my profile page. Go to TheMaryBurke.com and see all the different social medias that I'm on. So you can follow me on multiple different platforms. Like if you didn't know that I was on YouTube and you're on TikTok, or you didn't know that I was on Facebook or Instagram, I'm on all of them. I'm on all the majors. I can tell you there's a couple ones to stay away from that I am absolutely not on, and I hear from people daily that have fallen for the fakes. So the fakes try to grab you on Telegram, they'll try to grab you on Google Chats, and they'll try to get you on Snapchat. I don't go on any of those platforms. So anytime you get, and especially, even after my lives, and I do have some tried and true fans that will see it and they'll even tag me in it. I do have some fakes that will jump into the post. I will post the lives afterwards on most platforms, and I will see the fakes go into that and comment, hey, I liked your comment, follow me back. Well, you were already on my page. There's no reason to send them a follow back or private, or they'll say DM me, and then they have their link in that, and it is not me, but it says it's Mary Burke. But they do it in such a convincing way that you have to be very, very careful. So I go through, and the ones that, people that realize that and understand that, they'll tag me in it, and then I go kick them off. But I do get, that happens a lot. The fakes will try to scam you, so just be careful of that. But with me talking to you live, you should realize that, obviously I'm live with you. I'm chatting with you live. It's the real me. Thank you, LVL. Thank you for joining in. I do appreciate that. You DM me, Luke. Well, on certain platforms, I get 7 to 10 million views a day, easily. So over my different platforms. So when I'm looking at the analytics of that, you can imagine me being me. I'm not going to be able to DM you. So there is only like 2 platforms that I actually DM back on, and I can assure you, you're not on it right now as we're chatting. So those platforms, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, and the Facebooks. No Messenger. Oh, that's another one. That's a huge one. No Messenger. So I don't use it. So I didn't even download the app. So don't try to DM me on Messenger, because you will only be DMing the fakes there. So just understand that there are. And or it will sit there, and if you do DM me, I do see like Messenger up in the corner, downloaded or whatever. I don't even go there. So I will not, and so your message will be hanging out there forever. So you have to find the platforms that I actually do DM on. But I can assure you, it is not Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So that is for sure out. You're lucky if you get a heart, or maybe a response comment back to you. So again, thank you, Shirzaman. I probably pronounced that wrong, but thank you, and thanks for joining in. AV Fernandez, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi there, Michael from Germany. Thanks for joining in. I have some new people joining in, so you've got Mary Burke Live, broadcasting live from the RV this Sunday morning, having my morning coffee, chatting with you. Turkey's in the house. Thank you for joining in. William would like to see some jumping jacks, so I will do seated jacks. That's it, seated jacks. That's what you got. Because if I stand up, I'll be way too close. You won't be able to see the jumping jack. So again, thank you for joining, and I do not give out my phone number, so if somebody just asked for my phone number, sorry, no phone numbers are exchanged. Could you imagine that? I have 1.8 million followers on YouTube, and I'm handing out my telephone number. Not gonna work. Not gonna happen. Sorry. So I do have millions and millions of subscribers across all my different platforms. So please just understand that there's only a couple of platforms in which I will DM you on, and so that's, you got me live here. You can ask your question as long as it's appropriate. Shirazman, what's up? Shirazman. Just having a chat this Sunday morning, going over what I've accomplished this last week and what is slated for this upcoming week. A mini production meeting, if you will, as far as what work I have to get done, what I think I'll be filming, what you'd like to see. So the construction projects that I am working on this week is hopefully completing the master bed and bathroom, getting that back online. So right now that is down and out while I am working on that. In addition, the cabin is almost done. I am still waiting. Funny story. I am still waiting on the glass doors for the cabin bathroom. So funny story is that the person was out to measure the glass and everything else. So gave them the go ahead to go ahead and do it, go order it, and they said, oh, it's only going to be a couple of days. So I'm like, great. But then I didn't hear from them, and so it was over a week, and I was like, that's weird. I haven't heard from them at all. So I called them up and I said, oh, so sorry. I'm just checking on the status of these glass doors. And they said, oh, thank goodness that you called. Because one, I never told you the price, which they gave me a ballpark when they were here, so I knew what ballpark we were talking about. And I said, is it any different from what we discussed? Well, no, not really. So that was number one. And number two, they said, and I tried to call you, but I had your number, I see on the caller ID, I had numbers transposed, for your number. So I kept getting a wrong number. So I'd ordered from these people before, so if they had actually looked at past orders, they would have been able to find the right number. I was a customer in their system, so it wasn't like they couldn't find the number. Anyways, so long story short, I had a whole week delay on getting if I had just called them the following day. I toyed with it. I'm like, do I follow up or do I give them extra time to just get it done? They said it would only be they were going to go back. The words out of their mouth were, I'm going to go back and order it. It'll take a couple of days to come in. So that's where I was at. A week later, they didn't even order it. So, somebody asked if I'm happy in my life and what is my happiness. So thank you for your question. I do appreciate that. I am very happy in my life. I'm living my best life. And being here on the farm makes me happy. Chatting with you makes me happy. Going out and traveling makes me happy. And I get to do all of those things. So I get to see friends and family. I get to hang out with the animals. I get to go in the pool. My life is good. I get to play on my side-by, my four-wheelers, work on a tractor. So all of that is good. Thank you, Gary, for joining in this morning. Thanks for thinking I look beautiful. Thanks for sending me tickles, Shayo. Hi, Kadri. Thank you for joining in. Somebody, A.V. Fernandez asks, what color are my eyes? The color of my eyes are hazel. So they tend to change color. They're predominantly green, but they will pick up and reflect colors that I wear. So if I wear green, they're going to look green. If I wear purples, they're going to look extra green. So blues, but they will also pick up a blue or a gray. So those are, sometimes I'll get even some golden flecks in there to make them look more ambery or cat's eye. So, but they are hazel, to which I understand that only about 3% of the population has hazel eyes. Way more of the population has green or have blue. So I think 10% of the population has blue eyes. And I want to say 4% of the population has green, but less have hazel. What about my overalls? These are short alls. The reason that they're called short alls is because they're short pants instead of long pants. Do I dress like this in real life? You can catch me in if you haven't been here long, then you can catch me in Lowe's or going out to restaurant or what have you in overalls. So yes, I wear the short alls or overalls. Right now you have me in a bikini because it is slated to be 98 degrees, hot and humid. So, and I will be working predominantly outdoors here at the farm for the rest of the day, running back and forth inside to install the wood. So yes, this is how I dress around the farm. And where I am, this is, I'm actually probably overdressed as far as that go. I'm in a farming type community, so when I go down to the local convenience store, I bump into one or more people that are wearing full-on overalls, and if they're gentlemen or guys, they're not wearing a shirt underneath at all. So the overalls and the short alls let you get your work done, cover you while you're doing your work, but yet allow a lot of ventilation so that it can keep you cool. So I do appreciate you being here. I do appreciate you joining in. You should hit follow, subscribe. You've got The Real Mary Burke right here. So again, I can't impress upon you enough to make sure that you have already hit follow or subscribe, because then you can make sure that you get notified when I go online and stream live, and you can comment, follow my journey here on the farm. So hello, thank you for joining in from the UK. Thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. Everybody has to play nice in the comments. If you do not play nice in the comments, then that is the quickest way for you to get bounced out. So thanks for joining in from Pakistan. Thanks for joining in. I do appreciate that. I always have one screen that does not does not scroll well. So occasionally I have to give it a bump and make sure that it is scrolling. And again, thank you for joining in. I do appreciate you being here. And if you don't play nice, yes, you do get kicked out. So you don't want to get kicked out. So just behave. So, okay, back at you. Again, I don't feed into the negativity, the haters. You can hate all you want, living my best life, happy and healthy, and that's fine. You do you, but the fact that I don't understand the haters' mentality, that they feel this necessity to go out and hate and spew it. They're mestastasizing that hate, and it's just, guys, get over it. Get over it. Get over yourselves. Get over the hate. But hey, you're helping my matrix, so. Somebody asked how old I am. I am in my fantastic 50s. I do the same stuff that I did in my 20s and 30s. So I stay healthy and exercise. It's part of my lifestyle. Thank you, Baggy, for thinking I look gorgeous today. I do not speak Spanish. Linda, sorry, I do not speak Spanish. Hi there, Diane. Right? Yes, exactly. Can't give in to the haters. Holy moly, macaroni asked what caused me to start my social media. It was actually my family. So I was working. I worked in most of my life in finance in a Fortune 500 company. And when COVID hit, there was a whole TikTok phase. Everybody's got to get in and join TikTok, do a TikTok dance, do it this, whatever. And my family was like, hey, let's do a TikTok together and blah, blah, blah. So that's how it all got started. My background back in my growing up and through my early adult years, I was a competitive and then a professional figure skater. So I was used to performing in front of thousands of people. And so this was just a new and normal transition. So when COVID hit, that's how it happened. And I was offered the opportunity to, and I took the opportunity to retire early. And then I became a full-time content creator. So that's what I do now. And again, I get 7 to 10 million views a day. And that's not something that one person can do by themselves. There is a crew that I work with. And so that's also, everybody's like, who's filming you? What you do, who does that? I have a whole crew that comes every day and works around the farm. And right now, you're on a stand. So it's just me and you chatting. However, after this, the footage will be gone through. It might get diced up. It might get reutilized in different ways, and somebody else comes in and edits. And the same thing, it could be me filming, could be on a stand filming, somebody else could be filming. There's lots of that. So if that helps you with your questions with regards to that. If you were to think about it, thank you so much for my heart, my little heart there. Thank you for my heart. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Stephen, for the finger heart. I do appreciate all those gifts. Yes, I do. So if you were an advertising agency per se, or you worked in advertising and you were trying to get 10 million views a day for a 30-second video spot, what crew, what product, what crew would you need to put together to do that? And that's what I do every single day. I put out tons of content every single day. And so that requires people, besides myself, to actually assist with the filming, the coordination, the outfits, everything. So I usually come up with a general theme, and then it gets tweaked depending on what is being done, and then we take it from there, and then it goes from there into production, and they take it, splice it, dice it, and deliver it. So daily live, yes, daily lives are part of that, to let you know that I am a real person. You can chat with me here live and get to know a little bit about me, but also know that I'm not AI. I'm real, and the fakes can't do that. Now the fakes can rebroadcast. They often get into these lives and copy it, or they're on one platform watching as somebody else and stealing it and taking it and putting it on a different platform as me. So that's how that all transpires. I know that exists, so I do my best, and my legal does their best to do DCMAs and report them and get them taken down. But you know, it is what it is. Theft is rampant on certain platforms, unfortunately. Do you ever feel like giving up and stopping? No. Why? I enjoy it. I enjoy being out on social media. I enjoy giving you parts of my life and showing you different things that are different from your own, or maybe similar. So sometimes I have other farmers that reach out and talk about issues that they're having on their farm, or how big their farm is, and I pick their brains about some of the stuff that they're doing, or vice versa. And then, you know, you get to see a slice of my life every single day, whether it be that I'm traveling, whether it be that I'm going to the store to getting stuff, acquiring product for the renovations that I'm doing, what renovations I'm doing. So there's lots of stuff, whether it's I'm traveling, whether I'm here in the RV, am I traveling in the RV? Did I fly? Did I drive? Is it a road trip? What's what? So, and it gives you something different than, or similar to what you're doing in your own life. I have lots of people that have RVs that jump into the chat to talk about the RVs that they have and where they've gone. So, any RVers out there? Anybody have this is a Class C motorhome. So that has the engine attached in the front, and it has a Ford F450 up front, and then the rest of it is 29 feet straight back of living space. So bumper to bumper, I believe it's 32 feet. But a lot of people have toy haulers, or fifth wheels, or Class A, you know, the bus style. So lots of different styles. Road trip to UK. Well, I'd have to get my RV across the pond somehow. Argentina's in the house. Thank you for joining in. You RV the ocean, so you have a boat. Excellent. You have a yacht. Fantastic. So thank you for joining in. You've got Mary Burke Live. You can certainly tell me where you're from. I was just talking about RVs. Somebody was telling me about their boat. So I do not have a boat. I have looked at boats. I am going to be more the smooth sailing kind, more than the ocean kind. So if I were to get a boat, it would probably be a pontoon. I'd probably want the upper sun deck with a little slippy slide going down. So thank you for joining in. I got a lot of people scrolling now, and a lot of people joining in. Thank you. You've got Mary. Oh, good morning. Thank you for my coffee. And thank you, Paul. That means it is time for me to have a good slug of my coffee here. Thank you so much for my gift. I do appreciate that. And it was time for me to take a time out and have a sip of coffee anyway. Somebody asked how many acres is that Diane asked, how many acres is my farm on? I'm on a hobby farm, what I consider a hobby farm, so I have less than 10 acres. So, and originally when I came up here, when I was looking for land and I was looking for stuff, I would see, you know, like 40 acres, MOL. And I'm saying to myself, what is MOL? What is MOL? I didn't understand the acronym. So I finally asked one of the realtors, and I didn't see that in Florida. I never saw that in the Northeast. So I had to ask the realtor, what is MOL? And they're like, more or less. So 40 acres, more or less. It could be 35, it could be 42, more or less. It's like, so you don't know exactly how big the property is? To me, I always found that one a little funny. Yes, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining, and thank you for liking, watching all my videos, Michael. I do appreciate you being here. Stephen asks, thank you for your question, Stephen, if I have horses. Neighboring farms have horses. I do not have horses. Horses is a whole nother level of commitment than even the farm animals. They're gonna, especially if I want to ride them. And if I had horses, I would want horses I could trail ride with. And so that is going to require a whole breaking in the horses, working with the horses, grooming the horses, mucking the stalls. All that stuff is going to add several hours of labor per day. So here at the farm. So I'm not quite up for that. And I'm not in a position where I would hire somebody to come in and do that yet. So I'm in between on that. So I have not done that yet. If I were, I would probably purchase a horse to be boarded somewhere else first, so that they could teach me all about it as opposed to the other way around, if that makes any sense. But thank you for your question. Thanks, Stephen. So thank you for joining. Thank you for following in. Martin has joined in. Thank you for joining in. What's the most difficult thing about uploading videos? It's actually reviewing all the film. So throughout the day, content is filmed all the time. So, and it's just through then going through clip after clip after clip after clip, shortening those, finding out the funny ones. You know, what you get is after it's already been edited or compiled. So sometimes you'll see it's some small clips all put together because the whole string didn't work, but if you take different pieces, it all worked together. So that is probably the most tedious portion of it, and that is the part that I completely give to somebody else. I just go out there and do my thing, and somebody else has to do all the editing. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at, and so that is my editor. Thank you. What are my favorite movies? Thank you for your question, Joseph. My favorite movies, there has to be a little bit of action. It has to have a little bit of romance. It could have a little bit of a thriller in there. Those are my favorite types of movies. So all-time favorites would be like The Princess Bride. Yes, it's a bit corny with Carrie Yules and Robin Wright. Another one would be I'm drawing a blank. My Cousin Vinny is, anytime that is on, I will absolutely watch that. About Last Night, the original About Last Night with Rob Lowe and Demi Moore is also absolutely. But then funny ones like Fired Up or Stick It, some funny ones like that are fun to watch. I did watch a few good movies. Somebody had recommended The Green Book. The Green Book was a phenomenal movie. Well written, well acted, not it had Viggo Mortensen, and I forget the other gentleman's name in it, the other actor's name in it, but it was a really really good movie. Another really good movie that I saw recently, it was called The Burial with Jamie Foxx. That was he's an attorney, and it's about burial services from one church to another church, and how the coffin companies were upcharging certain citizens. So, I mean, it was a really good movie. Let's see, some other good movies. I watched The Land of Bad last night, and that was very engaging. It had Liam Hemsworth in it and Russell Crowe in it, and it was a war. It's kind of like a lone survivor situation. So, yes and no, it was, but it wasn't. But along those times, it was a military one, no love interest in it. But other than that, it was like I said, I do like that aspect being in there somewhere. But that was a very good movie. Let's see. So those. Thank you for my rose. Thank you, Martin, for my roses. So those are some of my my favorites. Martin asks what my favorite color is. I can't say that I have a favorite color. I can say that I am drawn to bright colors, such as the lime green, neon yellows, fuchsia, hot pink, magentas, emerald greens, sapphire blues, or brilliant aquamarine colors, that style, burgundy reds, or a fire engine red. And let's see, purple, like the royal purple, real deep purples. Those are colors that I am drawn to. Not so much the muted beiges and olives. My skin tone already has an olive tone to it, so those tend to really make me look drained. I don't feel, it's not vibrant. So I'm more of a vibrant color person. If you want in pastels, my favorite would probably be a lilac, a light purple, or a lavender. So, thank you for your question. Why did I quit ice skating? Stephen asks. You looked very good. Thank you so much for your question. I was a competitive figure skater until I turned professional. So my entire life growing up, there was a time that I would say that I could had more balance on ice than I did off ice. So, but life changes. So after I was completed my amateur career in ice skating, I became professional, and then toured. I toured with Disney on Ice, and after I toured with Disney on Ice, I came back and I taught ice skating. So I was a teacher of ice skating. I taught Learn to Skate. I had my own skating school, all of that. And then, life happens. So you can't be, at one point, I was 6 months pregnant while I was ice skating. So twice I did that. And so I sold the ice skating school. And I went on to have more children, but not while I was that pregnant. Was I out on the ice teaching? So at that point, I still built rinks, I still ice skated, but not every day on ice. And I do still try to get on ice. If you go through my prior posts from last November, December, you'll see I have a couple of ice skating videos up there. And that was my first time on ice in 3 years. So it was learning. You have to get all that edges and get all that back. So it does take a little bit of time to get comfortable back doing that again. So again, I learned to skate. I taught Learn to Skate. I did all of that, and I still enjoy it to this day. So, and if I can't get to ice skating, I do also rollerblade when I have the opportunity. So right here at the farm, I don't have that opportunity. I'm on a country road, which is on gravel, so I don't have the opportunity or the ground in which to roll a blade on. I do somewhere right here. Yeah, see? I'm not far from my skates. My skates are right here. So here's what my ice skates look like. And there they are. That's my ice skates right there. So these are customs. They're molded to my feet. They take the mold of my foot and they build the boot around the base, and they create the base, and then the blade I buy, but they install it for me. So these need a good shellac on them. These need to be, the wood is a little dry, so I'm gonna have to cover those. Thanks for pointing that out to me. So there you have it. So I was just, somebody asked what's up. I was just showing, somebody was asking questions about my ice skating, so I just showed you my ice skates. So thank you, Michael from Germany. Yes, ice time. Now, Alabama, the closest rink to me is, I think, 3 hours. 3 hours to get to the closest rink. And transplanting to the south, when I was in the Northeast, there was a rink around every corner. I could go skate whenever I wanted. Going down to Florida, I happened to go to an area of Florida that had 2 to 3 rinks. One of them closed down. But I had 2 rinks near me, and now there's a 3rd rink that's right near me. So, where am I gonna go? Where do I go ice skating? Like I said, it's easier for me to do that near my property in Florida than it is here in Alabama. I would actually, the closest one for me to get to is 3 hours away, and that's it, on the Georgia line. So, how many times a year does it rain in Florida? Well, I say that we have a dry season and a wet season. So during the wet season, it rains every day in Florida. So there is 100% chance during the summer of rain in Florida. It just depends on what part of Florida you're in. So usually the atmospheric pressure drops. It culminates and drops around between 2 to 5 every afternoon, and you can get a sudden heavy downpour of rain, tropical outburst of rain just about every day. Alabama, I'm finding it's not the same. It's very hit or miss. And it could say that I'm getting rain, and it says rain is going to start in 15 minutes, and then it never does. Or I could get almost like monsoon type rains. So it's happened either way, but it's not as absolute in Alabama as it is in Florida. Let's see, Elias asks if I am single. I am not single. I have been married 30 years. So unless my hands are covered, I normally wear my rings every single day, so they will be in the videos. So there's no surprise there. You're in Italy at 6:15. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Byron. I appreciate that. 6:15 there, so that's 18:15, right? Military time. Thank you, Ali, for joining in and watching. AV Fernandez asks, have I ever vacationed in Colorado? I have not. I have not been to Colorado. With skating, you would think I would. Steamboat Springs is a big mecca for ice skating, but I did not go there. I stayed on the East Coast, so for me, additional training would have been Lake Placid, New York. So, do I have a single twin sister? No, I do not. But thanks for your question. Thanks for joining in. Joseph asks, how tall am I? I tend to be on the petite side. I have a small framed body, and I am what you would consider petite. So I am 5'4". When I stand, I'm sitting now, but when I stand, I have I learned from an early age, being petite, it is very important. Posture is very important to keep the shoulders back, the head up, and to stand to your full height. So most people, when they meet me, they don't think that I am 5'4". They always think I'm taller than I really am. Zerato, it's your first time here. Thank you. You should hit follow, subscribe, join. Where am I? I am in the United States, and I am in Southeast Alabama. That is where the farm is at. Let's see, what else? What other questions do we have here? I got lots of people joining in and lots of scrolling going on. Lots of scrolling, lots of scrolling. Thanks for joining. I have lots of friends, Diane. I have all sorts of friends. Thanks for your question. What's my secret for beauty? Keep it simple. I don't cover my face. I don't, I'll put moisturizer on it. I don't use setting sprays. I don't use a foundation. I don't use any color corrections. My freckles are my freckles, so that you should be able to see those. I will use products to enhance, so the eyeshadows will be a natural, natural in color, natural look to them. The eyeliner is only on my top lid, and it will be a purple to help bring out the green in my eye. The mascara is that, no fake lashes. The eyebrows are mine. There's no pencil in the eyebrow, so if I were to go like that, you can see that those are just my eyebrows. Maybe a little, some blush, again, would be, the blush would be a powder, and I don't do any of that contouring and all that's way too much. And then it's pancaked. Then it's all pancaked on you, and you gotta take it all off, and you don't even look like the same person when you take off your makeup. I want to look the same with my makeup or without my makeup. I want it to be enhanced, but I don't want to be a different me. So thanks for your question. So if you have a question, you can certainly ask it. This is a morning chat with me, so I want you to be able to ask your questions. Let me know where you're from. What time it is there. Somebody was telling me it was 6:15 in Germany, 6:15 p.m. What's the best color? Color for what? I don't have a best color overall. Halim asked where I am from. I am from the United States. The farm is in Southeast Alabama, and my beach property is in Florida. New Jersey's in the house. Thank you for being there. It's 12:20 p.m. So for you, you're an hour ahead of me. They are on the East Coast time. It's 10:20 in Irish Finney says from Denver. Thanks for joining in. Good morning from France. Iroquois Wolf. Bonjour, or actually good afternoon for you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for liking my hair, A.V. Fernandez. I do appreciate that. Hello there, Mike from St. Petersburg Beach, Florida. And here's something to know about that area. It's all called Tampa Bay, but St. Pete Beach is different from St. Pete because you have to get out onto the key. So it is different out there. You have to go across a bridge to get out to St. Pete Beach. So that goes from Pass-a-Grille all the way up to like Reddington Beach. So if I got that right. So same thing with Clearwater. So you can take 60 all the way straight out from Tampa and go straight out to Clearwater, But Clearwater doesn't get you to Clearwater Beach. You got to get up over the bridge and get over into the key for Clearwater Beach. So one of my favorite places to go fishing is Paso Grille's channel there on the backside by the marina. They have that channel, and I like to fish right off the wall if I don't get out onto a boat. So Singapore, thank you so much for joining, and I do appreciate that. Thank you for liking the bikini. It's a French name, and it's a French bikini. I got it on Amazon, but I can never pronounce the name of it. It's Rellecija. So Buffalo, New York. All right, upstate New York in the house. Thank you for joining, Anne. Am I alone in the RV? Yes, I am alone in the RV. The camera is on a stand. So thank you. Hi there, Baloo. Thank you for joining, Anne. I appreciate that for being here. You prefer the east side? Got to go to the waves. I grew up on the East Coast, again, being from the Northeast. I did like the calmer Gulf side. The East Coast is a lot of fun. Cocoa Beach is fun. Miami Beach is a bit crazy. But yes, I do like that side. I like that, like Pompano Beach, a little bit further to the north. Or even Jacksonville Beach. Or St. Augustine I like to go out to St. Augustine and go out to their beach as well if I want to go up to the East Coast. So, San Francisco, excellent. North Carolina's in the house. West Coast called Lenore. You mean the East Coast? Or you're on the west side of North Carolina. Gotcha. Westerly. So let's see. Rob is from the UK. Thank you for joining in. Boca Raton. Yes, it's just south of Miami there. And I do like Key West. I do go down to Key West often. But I go all the way out to Key West, either Sugarloaf Key or Key West proper. I have not really spent any time like Key Largo, Marathon, any of Isla Mirada or any of those. I have not spent any time on those keys, just to drive through them. What part of UK? Because UK could be Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or England. So which part of the UK are you from? Thank you for joining, Anne. Do I always wear a bikini? You'll see me in either a tank top, or just the short-alls, or a bikini. I have an extensive collection of them. Again, it's 98 degrees outside the RV, so when I go outside to work, it is definitely hot, and you need to stay cool. Do I like football or basketball? I am definitely a football fan. Basketball, to me, is a redundancy, and the only time that counts is the last 2 minutes. So you could shorten that game a whole bunch for me. So, sorry, that's just my opinion of it. I know there's plenty of basketball fans out there, and I apologize. It's just not my cup of tea. Thank you so much for being here. Come South Florida. I do have a property in South Florida. You're England's South Coast. Okay, fantastic. Now in England, I've been to Sheffield and Birmingham, as well as London. Thank you for joining, Anne. I do appreciate you being here. Yes. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Broken Arrow. That's a unique name. It was Crooked Arrow. There was a lacrosse movie called Crooked Arrow, I think, not Broken Arrow. Hi there, Red McCoy. Thanks for joining in and watching. I need to visit Manchester, England. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll be back. How old am I? And I didn't catch the name. And am I single? I am married, and I am in my fantastic 50s, and that's as close as you will get. If you write to me in another language, I will not be able to respond to you because I do not understand it. English only, please. That's the best explanation of why you prefer the NFL over basketball. Exactly, right? It, only the last 2 minutes count. So, thank you so much. Hunter asked if I'm married. Yes, I am married. So that's a good way to tell about the fakes. The fakes will tell you that I am single, I am lonely, I am divorced, I am all these other things above. I've been married for 30 years. So that's a scammer that stole the content, overwrote my content, and put their own content in there to scam you. UFC versus NFL basketball. I'm still gonna go with football over UFC. I do like fights. I do watch fights. However, I don't understand all the grapples and all that other stuff. I was brought up, again, being from the Northeast, being from New England, a lot of sports pride from the New England sports. So it's the biggies. It's football, it's hockey, it's baseball, and it is basketball. Those are the major four. Now there's soccer and lacrosse. To me, I love watching lacrosse. It is the fastest game on earth. It is. You have to pay attention to where that ball is. It is like watching the shell game. To watch lacrosse, it's the fastest game on earth. It is. And it combines a lot of the other sports in it. It combines the physicality sometimes of football or of hockey, and but it also requires finesse. And this is hand-eye coordination that you would need for, say, baseball, but you're using a net and a ball, and you have to cradle it as you run, so you have to turn it as you run. So it does, and be able to pass on the fly and catch. So you got to give a lot of give and go on it. You have to be able to receive that ball. You have to be soft on that catch. So it does require a lot of skill to play lacrosse, even though it's a ground game. So. Happily married for 30 years. Somebody asked about my marriage. Yeah, you didn't know that about Hunter, did you? About lacrosse, yes. So, but yes, you can. But there's a lot of bumps and physical contact in lacrosse. So yes, there's a lot that goes into it, and it is fast. You are sprinting down. It is full speed all the time, and it has a layout more like soccer. So you have two middies. I think it's two. No, you have three middies. You have two forwards, two defense, and your goalie. So, and it is a goalie. They don't call it a keeper. And the goalie has a big wide. He has it's a shorty stick, and the defense, they have deep holes. They're long sticks. So that is, and then the middies and the attacks, they have short sticks as well. Namie asks how old I am. Fantastic 50s. Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for joining in. You've got Mary Burke Live. Just sitting here chatting. I was just chatting about some different sports. So I have all the major, hi Joseph, yes, I do have all the major platforms. There are several platforms I'm not on. So a lot of them are messenger type, like Messenger on Facebook, I do not use. So don't try to reach me there. Google Chats, I don't chat on Google Chats, and I don't do Telegram. So any of those platforms, I don't utilize Snapchat. I don't utilize Snapchat. So just be careful, because there's a lot of fakes out there, and that's where they'll get you. They'll try and say that I have all those things and try to scam you. So just be careful on that. But everything else I have, so you just gotta find me. The best way to do that is hit follow, and then you can go to my profile page and go to TheMaryBurke.com, and then that'll bring you to all the different social medias. So thank you for how do I take care of my skin and body? I work out daily. I'm outside. I'm physically active daily, either working around the farm, doing work, or actually both. I worked out this morning. I did an ab workout and some good stretching this morning. So you may see some videos of that later. But I also run around with Mavis and Pearl, the goats, and have some silly time, as well as hauling wood, lifting, installing, doing lots of manual labor. So all of that combined. I do also spray on sunscreen throughout the day, so they use a 30 sunscreen. So this tan is a result of being outside and a 30 sunscreen, so I do protect my skin as well. So any advice on marriage, James asked. Since I have been married so long, what is my advice? Communication. Communication is key for everything, from small things to big things. And if you hold it in and bottle it up and don't have the awkward conversations, you're not being true. You're not being true to you. You're not being true to the other person. It's an awkward conversation, but you gotta have them. So, and the best thing, there's a line in Meet Joe Black. If you haven't seen that one, that's a great movie with Brad Pitt in it. It's when he was young. It's a great movie in it. Great cast in it. But in there, one of the actors said, you know, why your wife, or, you know, why did you choose your wife, or whatever. And he said, she knows the worst thing about me, and it's okay. She loves me anyways. And I know the worst thing about her, and I love her anyways. So you have to share those awkward and uncomfortable memories and parts. Don't hold it in. Don't keep secrets. That's all I can suggest. Where am I from? I am from the Northeast, from New England originally. I was born and raised in New England of the U.S. And 20 years ago now, I transplanted to a warmer climate. I moved to Florida and call that home. And then from there, 4 years ago, I purchased the farm and have been able to be on the farm now for the last year and a half. Pretty much full time. I do go back and forth between the two. Have I ever met someone that could leg press about 10,000 pounds? Those would be some pretty thick thighs. Those would be some pretty thick thighs. That's why I have that accent. Yes, I work hard to try and not have an accent. But it does creep in there. I do get caught on it all the time. Do I sunbathe? Sure, I lay out. I lay on my floaty in the pool. Let's see. Thank you for joining in. I have Francois. Thank you for joining in. Hi there, Van. Thank you for joining in your question. Let's see. Michael is here. Keep it real. Absolutely. Keep it real. Keep the love alive. Know the worst about the other person and make it okay. If you're keeping secrets, it's not going to work. So, if you want a true partner, that's my take on it, anyways. That's the way I gotta be, and that's what's worked for me. Thank you, Anthony, for joining in. You have Mary Burke Live. This is the account for you to follow, for you to subscribe to, for you to join, for you, did I already say follow? Follow, subscribe, join, comment. You can comment here. It is going to be time for me to wrap it up and get to work. I've delayed in getting to my woodworking long enough. The sanders have stopped, so it's going to be time for me to get out and apply the stain. So, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining in, Doug. Hi there, Shafoy, Shafam, Shaf. Let's just go with Shaf. Thank you for my hearts, my waves. Thank you for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate that. Yes. So, I hope that you have enjoyed being here with me today on my Sunday morning. And let's see. Stay tuned because there's lots more to come, lots more coming up this week. Yes, Tyreek. I wouldn't message me. There's only a couple of platforms. People say that they're going to send me a message or a DM on these platforms. I rarely will respond. Again, with 7 to 10 million views a day. You can imagine how many messages on those platforms I get. So you have to find the platform that I actually DM back on. There's 2, and it is not TikTok. It is not YouTube. It is not Instagram or Facebook. So I don't have the manpower. There's only so many hours in the day for me to be able to do all the work that I need to do and to reply to people. So, and I don't hire chatters or anything like that. So it is me. Thank you for liking my tan, Namie. I do put on sunscreen every day, multiple times throughout the day. I am outside a lot, so that is how I have a pretty even tan. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, Moreno. I do appreciate that. Lots of people scrolling in all of a sudden, so I was winding down for the live, but now it's going to be 3 more minutes. 3 minutes, and then it's going to be time for me to say goodbye. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Make sure you hit follow, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit join, because you've got Mary Burke. I've just been chatting with you live, so you know it's really me. So make sure that this is the account that you follow. This way you'll get notified when I go live again, so you can join into the conversation or whatever we decide to do or chat about that day. And you also can be caught up on all the projects that are going on around the farm and or throughout my travels. So I have enjoyed being here with you. I enjoy chatting with you, and I thank each and every one of my fans for being here and supporting my content. So I do appreciate that. And just know that I have to be respectful, and I do broadcast on different platforms, so I have to be in compliance with each and every one of those platforms' guidelines. So thank you for joining in from India. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Eggshen. Thank you for joining in. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Hi, Timmy. Thanks for joining in. Massimo, thanks for joining in. I do appreciate a lot of people joining in at the moment, but it is going to be time for me to wind down and get to work. I've been slacking, so you got about 1.5 minutes left, and then I am going to say arrivederci, goodbye, adios, sayonara, all of the above. But make sure you hit follow and or subscribe before I take off for the day. All right, so I do appreciate each and every one of you. Which other platforms do I use? Namie asks. So I broadcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. The other platforms I don't necessarily broadcast on, but I do have other platforms, and to find out which ones I'm on, or you didn't know that I was on those, or you didn't know I was on Cameo, Fansly, or any of the other ones, then the best way to do that is to hit follow, and then go to my profile after I've concluded the live, and then you can go to TheMaryBurke.com. Yes, it's my own website, TheMaryBurke.com, and you can see all the different social medias and get the actual links to all the different social medias, so you don't accidentally click on the fakes. You are actually following me on each one of those platforms. So that's the big takeaway, is make sure you're following me. Got it? All right. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure chatting with you this morning. It's time for me to get my butt in gear, finish up this coffee, and wishing you a wonderful rest of your Sunday. See you later. Goodbye. Talk to you soon. Thanks for following. If you don't, follow. All right. Bye now.